4th down and 6. Olbridge gotta have it. Shotgun formation. Nugent, a lot of time. Rolls out. He's running out of space. Will roll the other way. They look, corner of the end zone. Touchdown!
Rowan heading for the touchpad with the lead. And the Profs will take the men's 400-yard freestyle relay.
Andrews will be in shotgun. He takes the snap, makes the handoff. He'll throw it down the left sideline. He's got a wide open receiver. He's got the touchdown.
Motion man is Simmons. Trotman throwing towards Simmons down the field, and he makes the catch in traffic for a Bearcats touchdown.
Back to pass, middle of the field. The catch is made by Britt. She's off to the races at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Britt is in for the score.
Back on in, here's Yoxon. Yoxon to the back end, trying to go to the front, makes the move and shot, and he scores!
Gracie comes set and delivers. And that's it on the ground to second. Throw to first, in time, and the ball game is over. South Shore survives a late scare, and they are the 2024 New York State Little League Baseball champions.
Live from the Aquaplex in Hampton, Virginia, PDF Sports Network is proud to welcome you into coverage of the 2026 New Jersey Athletic Conference Swimming and Diving Championship Meet. Tonight we open the meet with coverage of Day 1 swimming finals live from our main pool. My name is David Pizzuto, here throughout the week with my partner John McCooch, and we thank you for joining us here at the Aquaplex, where we begin this 4-day journey culminating in individual and team championships in both men's and women's swimming and diving within the New Jersey Athletic Conference. Before we get underway officially, let's let you know what is on tap for tonight. As you can see on your screen, coming up here in the main pool will be coverage of the men's and women's 200-yard medley relay and the 800-yard freestyle relay. We also have a separate stream going on from the diving pool that is carrying our men's 3-meter diving competition tonight. However, in between the 200 medley relay and the 800 free relay, we will turn our attention to diving, because diving will be taking center stage here and the swimming will be put on pause. So we'll carry the diving as well, but all the audio for diving will be on our diving stream. Now, just so you are aware, as far as scoring and the like, the A relay events tonight are final heats, and they do result in point scoring. There will be B relays happening as well. Those will not figure into the scoring. Individual swimmers at the NJAC Championship are allowed to participate in up to 3 individual events and up to 4 relay events. So we should see a lot of representation here to kick off the championship. Point scoring will be up to 24 places. We'll put that up on your screen as well so you can see how the scoring will shake out. The scoring is being presented now. Take note that these are relay events tonight, and relay scoring is worth double the points that you see on your screen. So, John, we start with only 2 events tonight, but boy, there are a lot of points at stake here in Day 1, figuring in diving as well, to get our championship meet underway.
And it's a great way to start, right? You get, the relays, obviously, you mentioned that they're allowed to participate in all these events. So you get a lot of the swimmers you're going to see throughout the weekend and throughout everything. And it's also some of the highest stakes that they're going to swim in, because obviously you have the double points with the relays. And it's just, they're always great. First off, it's great to be here. And it's a great time to be here in Hampton, Virginia, at the Hampton, Virginia Aquaplex. And thanks to everybody for having us out here. But we've got a great start to everything right here. You're going to see a lot of the faces you're going to see, and it's going to be very, very competitive. This meet is going to be very, very competitive throughout this week, and we're going to talk about, the SEC, the D3, the NJAC as we go along here. So we've got a great thing going on, and thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah, absolutely. You just mentioned the SEC of Division III as far as swimming. A lot of the swimmers that you'll see and divers will make their way to the national championship in Division III, and obviously showcasing the conference and their respective schools. So a lot to look out for today. So for the sake of some housekeeping here first, John, we should mention that swimming events will occur each day here at the Aquaplex from here on in both the morning with preliminary heats and in the evening with the top 24 in each event making it to the final heats here in the evening. The diving pool streams each morning will also feature swimming preliminaries as well. One thing that the NJAC does is they run men's preliminaries in one side of the pool, women's preliminaries in the opposite side of the pool, and they switch pools each day. So the women will do their preliminary heats in the diving pool on Friday and Sunday mornings. So if you've purchased the streams each day and you're looking for the women's half, the preliminaries tomorrow will feature the women's half. And then, of course, the men will do their prelims in the diving pool on Saturday morning. However, the main pool final streams throughout the week and the weekend in the evening will only feature swimming for both men and women. Diving will feature only diving. So just a housekeeping note there. So, John, let's talk about these events and what we can expect tonight. We get a little bit of a mix, right? We get a little bit of the sprint with the medley, and then we get a little bit of distance with the freestyle, and we get to see a lot of different swimmers in the pool for each of the teams, and every single team will be represented here.
Every single team, exactly
right.
that. And obviously, you get the 200s. They're a bit shorter, but you see every type of swim you're going to see throughout the weekend, and it's fantastic. But those 200s, you get the relays. You got to go back and forth. It's a very team-oriented thing. Obviously, they're very competitive, but it is definitely one to watch out for. We got a big time thing. You see men and women in both of them, and you get again. Every team is going to be involved in this one, but we'll see how they go. Obviously, the 200-yard medley relay, Salisbury's got 2 of the top 3 times of that one, so that's kind of the squad that you're going to watch out for on the men's side. And then the women's side for the 200, Salisbury's got the 3rd best time. Kane leads that one with 1:44.45. But obviously, we're going to talk about Salisbury a lot. We're going to talk about a lot of these teams. It is still going to be very competitive, but there's a couple squads that you look out for, and they're definitely kind of, in terms of what they did in the regular season, they're showing out. You got TCNJ, who looks really great. The Merchant Marine Academy looks really great. And then you've got Salisbury. But once you get here, anything can happen, obviously. So we'll see.
Yeah, 1,000%, John. It's something we should note, too, is that the regular season, obviously, they do tell a little bit of the tale. But all these teams, taper themselves so that they show out here in the championship. And you might have a different relay combination for the championship than even provided your best, qualifying time during the regular season. You don't have to declare who your 4 are going to be until, leading up right to race time, to be honest. So, some of those top times that you see from some of the schools, both in sprint and the distance, they might have had 4 completely different people in the pool post that qualifying time. And here in the championship, not that you could throw it out the window necessarily, but our eyes have been opened before when it comes to these championships and what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, again, you look at some of these top times, right? That top time for Salisbury on the men's side, that was all the way back in November. It was pre-Thanksgiving. So a lot has changed, and you're going to see a lot of different combinations as you go throughout. And that time, 128.62. So that's kind of the benchmark. I mean, everyone set a benchmark in all this preliminary regular season and everything. So that's what we're going to look out for. Those are the times you got to watch for. And we'll break down, obviously, all the school records when things come up and all that. But kind of move to the 800 because it's freestyle, but it's a longer one. Not the longest race we're going to see here. There's still plenty to go there, but 800 is a bit longer. You get the freestyle. TCNJ leads that one on the men's side with 6:44.70. Salisbury with 7:40.43 on the women's side. Kane and Rowan are the top 3 for that. Rowan, Salisbury on the men's side are the other 2 teams in the top 3. So we get 2 really cool races here. You get the shorter one where you see everything, and the longer one where you just kind of go. So we've got a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. And, John, one of the things we should mention, too, we'll do a little housekeeping first. We understand that our meet is going to get started officially at 5:50. So we're talking about 5 or 6 minutes from now. We're going to have a message from the mayor of Hampton, Virginia. Then we're going to have our nation's anthem being played, and then we'll get started into the actual event. So we still have a few minutes to go before we start, but that'll be our run of show leading up. We should mention, John, that you and I personally are positioned in the dead corner of this facility.
Yep.
If you're watching your screen right now, we're in the opposite corner, away from your screen. Imagine the screen extends all the way to the left and high above. That's where we are. So we are actually a little bit, our view is actually a little bit interfered with, John. And as the fans pile in, I kind of lose the first and second lane up here. So what we want to tell you guys at home, the reason why we say that is because in the top right corner of your screen, that is our scoreboard, obviously, and that will tell you which school is in which lane, what the times are, the split times are, and so pay attention to that as well, because your screen at home actually is just about as good, if not a better vantage point than we actually have in the facility. And that's not to take anything away from the facility. It is absolutely gorgeous here. But as the fans fill up, my first lane, John, is completely gone from my eyesight. And lane, and actually it's lane 7 and 8, not 1 and 2. So closest to your screen is lane 8. So that is where my vantage point is, is limited, let's just put it that way. So do pay attention to the scoreboard on your screen. Sometimes your eyes will be even better than ours up here, but we'll do our best, of course, to guide you through it. And again, we don't know the names of the individual swimmers yet who are going to be in the relays. They might flash up on our screen. That's when we'll get them as well. So we're going to pivot a little bit, John. We're gonna learn as we go here.
We'll work.
Yeah,
and it is blocked off on my point of view as well. So it's going to be interesting. And
you are literally on my left shoulder.
Yeah,
so if I'm skewed, so are you.
Yeah, I might have a little bit of a better view, but you've also got the staircase and the railings that keep it up that are getting in my way out there for 7 and 8. So we make it work.
Yeah,
we always
absolutely.
figure it out on here for the NJAC and everything, but. Definitely the screen here. I mean, it's a great angle that we kind of found a way to put together there, and hopefully no one walks in front of it. But the scoreboard also same thing. But we give you the best view we possibly can, and I think this view is pretty good.
Absolutely. So with that in mind, again, each of our teams who are represented on the men's and women's side, Kane is an extra team that's just women only for swimming. We will see them all represented in this relay, so it'll give us a nice, healthy start. And, John, while we have a moment, let's look at what these schools did during the dual meet portion of the season. Now, again, in the NJAC, the regular season doesn't determine anything as far as postseason champions. That's the way it used to be with dual meet record. This championship meet, this is only its third year for the NJAC, so it's a relatively new format, but you could see what the teams have done during the regular season, John, and it leads you to think that obviously the Merchant Marine Academy on the men's side, certainly a team to beat, 10-0 overall, but notice they did not play head-to-head against an NJAC school in a dual meet this season, 0-0, and the numbers are rather modest in terms of head-to-head. You look at a team like TC&J, for instance, middle of the pack, but they took care of business in the NJAC.
Exactly. I mean, and they're kind of used to a lot of these teams, right? You see the 4-0 in the NJAC, and they're at the top, and a lot of the times, I mean, you really got to go off what are these teams doing individually with their times in these individual races. And you see Salisbury may have 2 losses there, but they have most of these top times. They're at the top in a lot of things. Obviously, the Merchant Marine Academy is kind of they had a great year. You go 10-0. They had a fantastic season, and they also are very much on a lot of these lists. But it all comes down to here. When they all come together, they all play each other, they all go against each other in this meet, and it's always great to see everybody from all over New Jersey and all over kind of this East Coast area come together for the NJAC, and it's fantastic. But you look at TC&J, too. They're great, and I think they kind of get a little bit of an advantage getting the NJAC environment, seeing a lot of how these teams go about it.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see how the Merchant Marine Academy approaches it, not having played an NJAC team.
That's on the men's side. You take a look at the women's. Of course, the extra team there is Kane, and all they did was go 8-1 during the season, or is that 9-1? It's 8-1.
I have the glasses advantage over you.
Excellent, John. But 2-0 in the NJAC, and again, each of these teams playing 2, 3, 4 dual meets with each other, but you could see the discrepancy in the overall. But maybe this brings into focus a little bit about what we can expect.
Just a little bit, Avi. And you see some teams are kind of more balanced on both the men's and women's side, and Kane kind of stepping in. Kane stepping in, having the best record as having the sole women's team. They've got to focus there. 2-0 in the NJAC, like you mentioned, and we're going to be able to see what they're able to do. And Kane, I just mentioned them at the 200-yard medley relay, so we'll get a very early view with them and kind of what they do best, because they've got that top time in the first race that will see them in. So for Kane, and again, it is pronounced Kane, obviously. So, They're a great squad. They've done a lot of great things this season, so we got a lot of expectations for them. But what we kind of noticed, it's very balanced for most of this. These are great teams here.
All right, so we're going to break here and throw it over to the public address as we will have the playing of our national anthem in just a moment. We'll return shortly. Our nation's colors and anthem, of course, being presented on the Aquaplex scoring console there, and you see it pop up with our lanes and times, so pay attention to that. This place has really filled up here in the Aquaplex. So great to see so many people trekking out from their respective states, because the NJAC encompasses more than just New Jersey, as we got Salisbury in the house and other affiliate schools that are here as associate members for swimming and diving only, and so that's nice to see as well. And a lot of families coming out and making the trip. But if you couldn't, and if you're paying attention to us here at the PDF Sports Network, we thank you kindly as well, because all the proceeds from tonight do not go to us here at PDF. They go to support the NJAC and, of course, the great student athletes, coaches, and athletic departments that comprise the NJAC. So we thank you for supporting the conference and these great athletes here with your subscriptions today and throughout the week as well. You guys at home already know this, but if you've subscribed to our ticketing channels, you get all the streams from that day. So today it's both the diving and the main pool, and from here on in, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, a purchase ticket of $20 buys you all 4 streams that are going on during those days. So a lot of fun here. And John, we were here yesterday. We got in, and we really need to say a big thank you to the Aquaplex staff. You and I actually closed the place down last night. We were the last ones out of here setting up, and the people here have been super gracious and super accommodating of their time and their facility, turning it over to us and letting us have our way.
I mean, it's just made it so easy to kind of go about, have really free reign of this Aquaplex right here, which is something you don't always get, because we've just been able to kind of do our thing, and anything we've needed help with, we've got it. Anything we've needed, we've got it, and maybe a little extra too.
Right.
So it's great. It's a great facility. I mean, it's a beautiful facility, because you may be confused a little bit. Why is the New Jersey Athletic Conference picking a place in Virginia to go down? But if this place wasn't so fantastic, I'm sure they'd be somewhere else. But this place is great. It's a perfect facility for a huge event like this, and it's exactly what the NJAC needed. This place is great. The people are great, and it's always great to be here.
Yep. So we are waiting for our scoreboard to come on, and we should mention the men will race first here in the 200 medley relay, back, breast, butterfly, and free. Obviously, the order of the medley relay. There are 16 men's teams, if you will, foursomes, if you will. There are 7 B relays, 9 A relays, 1 for each team. Only the A relays score in the NJAC championship. So I believe our first heat is going to consist of exclusively our B relay teams, and there are 7 of them in total. I don't know if there'll be one of the A relays, maybe the slowest A relay, John, in the pool, along with the B relays. We'll have to see how it shakes out on the scoreboard.
Right, we'll get a look at the scoreboard. I mean, obviously you see nothing right now, but it'll be on in,
it'll be on,
in just a couple. And that third, the thing is, Salisbury, their B squad had the third best time out of the top 16 times that were put out here. So if you want to know who's probably got a top team, and we'll see how they kind of maybe mix around. Maybe someone from the B from when that time was made, which again was a while ago, has maybe moved up to the A in terms of the best times. So it's a lot. They're a lot different, but we'll see how it shakes out today.
Yep. The swimmers for the first leg are not in the pool yet, and you could see that on your screen. And that's the other thing we should mention. Again, we did mention that our lanes are a little skewed here due to the crowd here that has collected, but also we do not see the starting blocks. John and I, we are so up high in the corner that the actual starting blocks are out of our viewing area. So we will rely on the screen, of course, to tell you who gets off to a nice start. Just getting ourselves ready. And we should mention, too, at the end of the relays and at the end of diving tonight, there will be the award presentations that will go on at the podium, which is located all the way in the opposite corner of the facility. And we will have our diving stream cover that angle. We're going to switch the camera a little bit to get that, but our diving stream will have those in the flesh. There you go.
There we go.
We've seen all the B relays are in the pool. So all 7 of the B relays, like you said, in the pole position will be Salisbury. They're in lane number 4. Flanking them in lane 3 is the Merchant Marines. TCNJ is in lane 5. And then lanes 1 and 2, William Patterson, Montclair State. Lane 6 and 7, Mary Washington and Ramapo College.
Yeah, TCNJ's B squad, they had the 8th best time, so it's going to be a competitive B side. Obviously, you mentioned the scoring aspect of it, but still going to be a very competitive race with this one. To kick things off, men's 200-yard medley. You better see it.
Yep, and 50 for each stroke, obviously. So backstroke, front and back. Okay, they're announcing the prelims. Right. Carter Cove won the preliminary round, first place in 3-meter diving, John.
Yeah.
As expected, he was a 2025 NCAA rep for USMMA.
Let's see if he gets back to
last
it as
year.
well.
Yeah, their record holder in that department, and he achieved that record at NCAAs last year. So congratulations to him, taking first in prelims.
Right, and there is qualifications for the NCAAs going on this weekend.
Absolutely.
And that's going to be a huge factor here.
Yeah, there'll be time trials after our official meet. We will not broadcast those for you, but time trials, of course, you try to achieve that time for ECAC postseason, NCAA postseason berths. So something to keep in mind as well. Results will be posted on Meet Mobile as well and the NJAC website day to day. So be sure to contact that. As
very busy. The NJAC will be very busy getting those times out to you. And Meet Mobile, again, will have all of that. But not only are you swimming and diving for your school and for yourself, I mean, to represent your school at a national stage, no matter which one of the two you end up going to, it is still a huge honor. And there's a lot to kind of swim for and dive for. And when I say swimming is playing, would you go with that, to play for?
I guess so.
Close enough, right?
It's a swim for to play for, but we all understand, and
we get it.
But it's great because when you do get a swimmer or 2 or 5 or 10 who do make it onto nationals, John, you kind of get the swell of the entire conference behind you at that point. At that point, it doesn't matter, your season's over, and a lot of the other student athletes, the coaches, they're all cheering for that 1 or 2 that are representing in each event. So it's such a pride event for the conference in general, and obviously all the personnel here for the NJAC, Terry, Michelle, Kathleen, everybody involved, just that NCAA berth and getting representation there is always such an awesome thing. All right, we have whistles coming up, which means our Our athletes are about to get into the pool. This is heat 1 of 3, and it's the B relays, our backstroke. Swimmers will get into the pool there. They dip in, and we will get underway shortly.
You don't always start in the pool a lot of the time.
Right.
So it's different.
Just the backstroke. And they're off, and here we go. The front 50 of this 200 medley relay. This is the B relays here. This relay will not score in the results, but you could tell just from the chanting already, John, there's a lot at stake here.
It's the best part about the NJAC and swimming in general. It does not matter if they're scoring. There's a lot of pride here, and you see a big lead up there as well.
Yeah, and Salisbury holding pace here, and they get into the water first here for the breaststroke. And it is neck and neck here between Salisbury and TCNJ. TCNJ made up a lot of time on that dive into the water on the exchange.
This is going exactly how we expected.
Right.
These two top dogs right here in terms of the B side. And these chants, that's the best part. These chants, it is a packed house here. This sounds like the game last Sunday.
Yeah, and something to watch too. Mary Washington in third place at this point. TCNJ actually got the better of that split as well.
That's what can happen in these medleys, because if you have one really strong swimmer for one of the strokes, they can make up so much ground.
Right. And they are coming around to the end of this one as well. Neck and neck. And into the water first is TCNJ. Actually, the first to touch was Salisbury. It's just the entry that was really good for TCNJ. Otherwise, the touch first came from Salisbury. Montclair State in 5th right now after Mary Washington, but here we go. On the turn, it was TCNJ coming in first. And it was Salisbury in lane 4. TCNJ takes second, and Merchant Marines in third with the time of 1:35.97. Mary Washington in 4th at 1:36.07. And then Montclair, Ramapo, and William Patterson from there. But that'll be the finals there.
So there's your top 3.
1:30.46 was our top one there. I don't know if that's right there. Lane 4 was Salisbury, correct?
Right. It says Montclair State.
I think they're getting ready maybe
yeah.
for the next
Probably.
The next one. But 1:30.48 was our winning time, and it belonged to Salisbury. TCNJ in second. That was the B relay. Again, that did not figure into the scoring.
It was slightly better than their last time out. That B team, they had 1:30.88 the last time they had a better time in that race. So, as you expected, in a big situation, they keep improving on the times.
Right. And so this next heat will only feature the 3 schools that we just mentioned. William Patterson is in lane 3, Montclair State in lane 4, and Ramapo College of New Jersey in lane 5. This is the first heat of the A relays, and these will score. There are a total, again, if there weren't any scratches, of 9 total A relay teams. So these are 3 of the top 9. We'll have the top 6 in the next heat.
Montclair State, their best time in this was 1:35.53 back on December 5th through 6th.
And on the back, it is Montclair ahead on the first turn.
It's got to feel like a lot of pressure when it's only 3 of you in the pool.
Right.
Right. There's all eyes are kind of on you. But you're just 3 in here. It's got to be a lot of pressure. But they're handling it well so far.
First touch did indeed belong to Montclair State. And lane 5. In second place, Ramapo College. And so the lanes are 1 through 8 from the start here. Yep, from this way going towards the athletes on the other side. We had it mixed up. And that's why I kept saying TCNJ was touching first. They were not.
It was Salisbury.
Right. All right, so now that makes a little bit more sense. Things are coming together here.
Figuring it out here in Hampton. There's been a lot to figure out in Hampton, but we're figuring it out.
Lanes 4 and 5 holding pace, but Montclair State is opening up their lead here. A split time of 1:12.46. They have about a 2.5 second lead right now over Ramapo. in lane 5. And they
Big long
finish.
ground.
Yep, they'll finish off here and comfortably taking this first heat of the A relays is Montclair State. 133.69, 136.16 enters Ramapo, so about 3 seconds behind them. And we'll have William Patterson coming up and touching at 143.93.
Yeah, Montclair State, that's almost a 2-second improvement on their last time. So really showing out.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we were talking about. There are no preliminaries either with the relays event. So you have to be able to put your best foot forward here when the lights are shining brightest.
You have to. I mean, this is it, right? I know we just started here at this meet, but this is that time. That's what you got. There's no preliminaries. There's nothing else you really do. It's just this is the race, and they showed up. 3 of those teams, they did that.
And we'll see if Montclair's time that you mentioned, they extended or they shaved their time off by a couple of seconds. We'll see if that leads to maybe an advancement up the ladder in the overall scheme of things, and if it cracks top 6 and is able to surpass one of the lower times here in this final heat.
And it was just short of a school record. 133.44 was the best time. 133.69 was what they got here. So that was only a couple years ago they got that time in the same one that they got their best time this season.
Still, I think they'll be very proud of that effort.
Oh, yeah.
And good showing there in the first half of the A relays here. And they'll document these scores and get them entered, and we'll get ready for heat number 3 upcoming, which will be our championship heat. And as John said, Salisbury should be in the pole position for this one in lane 4, and we'll see how it shakes out from there.
Yep, another Salisbury, TC&J type of battle. Their A squad, I mean, they're really close to each other. It's about a second difference from the top 2 times that you had there heading into this event. 128.62 for Salisbury. TC&J with a 129.51. Looks like, we can't see it, but it looks like they're getting up to the podium, the dock here.
Yep. They enter, and you could see it on the top right to middle of your screen. They come out holding their event sign, John, the official walkout here, and they take their marks. And it draws cheers from the crowd, which has really collected nicely. You could see it on your screen in the near left-hand corner, but it has filled out.
And this is just day 1.
Right.
Just day 1. A very smaller event here today in terms of how many races, how many dives you've got.
All right.
Packed crowd. I mean, everyone came down from, there's a lot of New Jersey schools made the drive as we did from Jersey and all around the Northeast down to Hampton.
So going from the bottom of your screen to the top, in lane 2 is Rowan. In lane 3 will be the United States Merchant Marine Academy. Lane 4 is Salisbury. Lane 5, TCNJ. Lane 6 will be Mary Washington. Lane 7, Roger Williams. Lanes 1 and 8 will be empty for this one.
We have a battle between Mary Washington, Merchant Marine Academy. They're pretty close in terms of times too. 4th is Mary Washington, 132.40. Merchant Marine Academy, 133.47.
Yeah, our attention is always to the leaders, John, but, especially in relay races where points are worth double, 3rd place, 4th place, 5th place, could be the difference between a championship win and a loss.
It could be. Again, like we focus on that top 2, but teams can win kind of just collecting a lot of 3rds and 4ths and 3rds and 4ths, especially if they're consistent throughout all these races. But
first to the turn on the 25 was Salisbury, but it is a dead heat between Salisbury and TCNJ here on the back half of this 50. And now the breaststrokers are in the water. Salisbury with a microscopic lead, about 0.3 of a second, and it is gaining a little bit. Coming on a little bit stronger is the United States Merchant Marine Academy, trying to catch TCNJ for second. But on the back half of this turn, John, TCNJ drawing a little bit closer here, narrowing the gap. We'll see. It'll be Salisbury first, and 0.4 of a second later, TCNJ, Merchant Marine behind them. It's a top 3 race here as they come around here with the butterfly. The butterfly. Back half of this, it definitely looks like Merchant Marine is trailing behind the top 2 leaders here, Salisbury and TCNJ. Not much separating them. TCNJ made up the gap. 0.1 of a second into the final turn. TC&J. It's a dead heat between them and Salisbury. Will it be the goals of the Lions? Coming in, tape finish. Lions take it by 0.17 seconds. And the Merchant Marines take the bronze.
If you weren't already excited for what we have going on this week, that's the race. That's going to just, wow, what a competition. TC&J did what they did. They had some really good entries. They made a lot of ground on entries. Salisbury, almost on coming back, was really doing a good job. But TC&J's entries are what got it done. I mean, that is about as close as you can get.
Yeah, Merchant Marine about 2.5 seconds off the leaders for the bronze. Mary Washington takes fourth place at 1:30.10, about a second and a half off of Merchant Marine's time. And then from there, you had Rowan in lane 2 taking fifth place, 1:36.1, about a half second behind Mary Washington. And Roger Williams came in sixth there with 1:32.41 with their final time. So those will be indeed the top 6, John. They shaked out exactly the way they were seeded and the way they were heated. And so that's a great start to this one.
It's a great start to this one, and a lot of those times have beaten what the previous bests were for these squads. So, again, the teams get better, they swim better, they race better all throughout the season. I mean, they absolutely smash their old times. It's not even close for some of these. TC&J with a 1:26.82, 1:29.51 to start out the year. So, a huge improvement. Same thing with Salisbury. They improved quite a bit as well. Just really great stuff there in that first race. I mean, it came down to the absolute last kind of point there.
Yep. So 0.17 was the difference. And now it'll be the women's turn, as we will have our first heat that will consist of the 7B teams, John. So from what we have on our ledger, there will be 10 A relay teams and 7 B's. So this will be heat number 1, and will feature these 7 B teams. Lanes 2 through 7 are as follows: Merchant Marines in lane 2, Mary Washington lane 3, Salisbury in lane 4, Montclair State lane 5, Ramapo is in lane 6, and William Patterson at the top of your screen is in lane 7.
And once we get to the A's, it'll be all about Kane right there. But in terms of the top beat time, it's Salisbury, 1:48.84. That's the mark that everyone's kind of chasing heading into this one. And we've already seen the men go out and just absolutely break records in original times. Women will probably do the same thing.
Sure will.
Then Rowan 8th, 1:51.36. We don't see them, but still some very good times in the Bs. But we see Ramapo had a 2:02.70. Salisbury does have a pretty big advantage in terms of what their original times were. Heading into the Bs here, the B relays, it gets a bit closer when we get to the A's, but in terms of the Bs, Salisbury definitely with a huge advantage in terms of what they've already done this season. Get these 7 squads almost ready to roll here in Hampton.
Absolutely, as they'll get the proper names in and entered before they set off, hence the delay. But again, after this event, after the 3 heats that are coming for the women's 200 medley relay, then there'll be a break here in swimming. They'll switch up to diving and have the final diving, and that'll be over on our diving stream. And then, of course, we'll come back for the 800 and wrap things up here for day 1. And what's already been exciting, and John, I can already sense it. I'm already starting to lose my voice.
A little bit already. Good thing.
One event in, but you know, between the crowd into it and between the tape photo finish, it's going to get out of hand.
I mean, I might have to grab you want your water here. You have your water over here.
Yeah.
Take it.
Other than that, it'll be John McCooch on play-by-play from here on in.
If the voice goes, we'll be ready to roll.
Absolutely.
I drank my tea this morning. Don't
pivot.
worry. Yeah. Got to drink your tea. We were talking
Yes,
about talking about
absolutely.
tea versus coffee at an unspecified restaurant earlier today.
Right.
But
When we get back to the room, I'll make the tea, John.
Gotta do it. I've got plenty of tea bags. I always bring them. Got honey in my backpack actually, if you want it. I always bring it everywhere I go. You never know.
Yeah. No shortage of snacks, but
No.
the liquids, we could use some more.
It's hot in here, too.
It is.
You get
Yeah, it really
dehydrated
is.
so
It
easily
really is.
when you're over here.
I
So
love it. And then, we exit the doors sometimes to go into the lobby or the vestibule area, and it's like a shockwave of air hits you.
It's a great
It's a
breeze.
great feeling, yeah.
it is one of the best feelings. I mean, I've been at these meets, calling some of these meets, and you're there for 7 hours. Finally walk by. You walk into that cold. It is the best feeling in the world. I mean, the athletes feel it probably way more than we do because we're just kind of
Sure.
standing here talking.
Yep.
They have to go and try to beat program records and swim. So we get the lighter version of it all.
Absolutely. So final tallies are being done. We saw some officials circulating the pool deck. Our spotters are in place, and here we go. B relays about to get underway for the women's half of the 200 medley relay. Again, backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, and freestyle to end it. 50 yards each. And they're off. And as they surface, it looks like the first to surface was our leaders of Salisbury. However, it's a tight one there with Montclair State as they exit the first turn pretty much identically. Montclair State in the pool for a longer time underwater. They resurfaced out of it, taking over the lead. And they do have first place right now with the 27-75 split. Salisbury right behind, but making up ground here on the breaststroke. You can see the distance here. And on that entry into the water, doing justice here for Salisbury as they come into the second half of our breaststroke. Leg 2 of 4 as they coming into the block. Salisbury with a little bit more of a comfortable edge here. They're split at 58.04, comes about a second, 1.6 ahead. And they got off to a flying start here in the butterfly competition. Exiting the wall here. It's more between second and third now, as coming on strong is lane 3 with Mary Washington. And final leg now coming up.
And Salisbury just absolutely came out. I mean, they gained a lot of grounds on the first turn and the second turn, and then just took out about half the pool.
Yep, it's going to be a tight contest here for second, John, as you could see. Might have been a little bump there in lane 3 by Mary Washington into the lane, but it looks like taking over and finishing in second was Mary Washington, and it'll be Montclair State touching up in third. But a good solid run by Salisbury, 147.29. Second place, Mary Washington, 152.91. Montclair State, 153.30 in third. And the Merchant Marine Academy takes fourth at 202.30. And then at 206.28, it was Ramapo College.
I mean, that battle for second came down really close. Both teams did better than their previous team records, so good performance by them. But it came down to it, and that's what we're going to see a lot of the time when you have a Salisbury that just comes out. Those second and third races, once they start counting, too, especially when you get to the A's, got to pay attention to those for sure.
All right, so now we'll have 3 teams that will occupy lanes 3, 4, and 5 for the first heat of the A relays here. William Patterson will be in lane 3, Merchant Marine Academy in lane 4, and Ramapo College in lane 5. And they enter the pool here equally. And resurfacing was the Merchant Marine Academy. First ones above water. And they get a good little advantage here on the back half of this backstroke. About a half a second to a second advantage now opening up. Making a little bit of time was William Patterson on the back half of that backstroke, but our breaststrokers are in the water. And Merchant Marine definitely keeping the pace here.
Wow. A lot of the time you have this squad, and you have one swimmer who's just absolutely stronger at their specific stroke.
Right.
And we got a fantastic breaststroker there for Merchant Marine.
And the lead improves here as we get into the final leg here. Merchant Marine easily in the water first here, and will look like they'll take it. And losing a lot of time there on the back half of that leg was William Patterson, so now they're in last place here by a couple of seconds here, but there'll definitely be 2 or 3 seconds in between the finishers here, John. But that's an impressive race here for the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy.
For a team that we expect to do a lot heading into this, really good start here. On the A side.
1:25.08 is our top time there. About 3 seconds, almost 4 seconds later, Ramapo College comes in at 1:28.96. And now they're in the water in their last legs. Great make-up time over in lane 5 by Ramapo College. Won't be enough, obviously, but Merchant Marine Academy takes it 1:48.95. Nice split there. Ramapo College easily in second at 1:53.35, and about 6 seconds later comes William Patterson at 1:59.40. So a little bit of space there between the finishers in that the first half of the A relay. Essentially what could be 8th, 9th, and 10th place, John, overall.
Right. And in terms of the times that we saw heading into this, that would be the 6th best time right there for Merchant Marine Academy. They destroyed their original time, so they put themselves in a pretty good position with that time right there. We get the rest coming up in just a second, but
can they crack the top 7? As you see the walkouts coming out here, we'll get you our lane markers for this A final championship heat coming up. Kane University, as John mentioned, they'll sit in the pole position in lane 4. To their right will be Salisbury in lane 3 and Mary Washington in lane 5. Lanes 1 and 2, Roger Williams and Montclair State respectively. Lanes 6 and 7 will be Rowan and the College of New Jersey. And we have somebody standing up right in front of the... Yep, now he's off.
There we go, we got it. Sometimes people need the pictures.
All right. Whistles come up, spotters are ready, and our backstrokers are in the pool. Oh boy. Got somebody right smack in the middle of our scoreboard here. We'll try to fix that, rectify that for you in our break. But they're off here. We have a good vantage point of it. We'll give you the times and the places as we go. Second half here. It's a good little battle. Lanes 4 and 6 actually. And it will be Kane holding the pace. Rowan with a good first leg there. They're only about 3/10 off the leaders here. And they are shoulder to shoulder here in this second wave.
It's about as close as you can get right now. It's like Rowan might have came out.
Yep. 3, 4, 5, and 6. It is a dead heat. And we'll see how they touch up. Touching in first was Rowan in lane 6. They had a great heat that time. Kane is in second. Salisbury in third. Mary Washington in fourth, not by much. Separating the leaders a second, maybe a hair more. As they come in to the final leg here of the butterfly. Still neck and neck, lanes 3, 4, and 5. Salisbury has taken over the lead with a 1:20.18 split. Kane right behind them. Here we go. Final leg. They come into the home stretch. Resurfacing first was Mary Washington. And Kane right there neck and neck. And at the end of it all, it will be Salisbury taking it in lane 3. Kane right behind them. Just 0.3 of a second later, and Mary Washington at 1:44.29, just 3.3 seconds behind them.
So Salisbury kind of came in at the end there. Looking like a battle between Kane and Rowan. Salisbury was able to get there the last couple.
Right, so
really good job.
Salisbury, again, because your times are being obscured. 1:43.94 was the winning time. So there you go. All right, we are going to take a break from swimming. That'll give us a chance to touch up that scoreboard too, Joe, and get that guy's head out of there.
Yeah.
Excuse me, John.
Close enough.
All right, let's get our disclaimer up first to let people know that we will be going on break here for diving and the 3-meter final. So, John, we're going to go off headset for just a moment, and when we come back, we'll get ourselves ready here for watching a little bit of diving on the main screen and on your diving screen. So be on the lookout for that. And then when we come back, we'll have the 800s coming up. All right, John, here's what you do. Get the main camera repositioned for diving now. And if you can, ask that guy in the hat to stand up there. I'm going to try to clear this. See if he gets me? Yeah. No.
But like, if you came over after, I would have just got down. I swear.
No. All good. We don't want to ruin your experience. We got to adjust. You got it, of course.
Judges award 20.90. Josh Michigan, the College of New Jersey, 403C.
Good.
Stay recording, right?
Yeah, you can keep recording. That's perfect. It's good. Yeah, I just adjusted it. No, that's not us. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, I looked as well earlier. I didn't see anything. So maybe post race they might put the results, but
I think they got to upload it after.
the only thing I know is downstairs maybe or wherever. Yeah, you got it.
Judges award 24.7. Wyatt Marble, College of New Jersey, 105B. Judges award 28.8. Kyle Johnson, University of Mary Washington, 103B.
How many times?
Six each.
I was going to make a water run if you need it.
I'm good right now. Yeah, you can go, John, if you need something. The only thing I'll need when you get back is just turning that around again so that we get the same kind of thing. I'm good, thank you.
Judges award 27.2. Charles Williams, U.S. First Marine Academy, 202C.
Once again, folks, these are the finals that are going on
Judges award
for
30.4.
the 3-meter diving on the men's side.
Thomas Pickle, U.S. Sports Marine Academy, 107C.
Utilizing our public address to give you guides to create difficulty and so on.
Judges award 57.4. Carter Cook, U.S. Sports Marine Academy, 205C. Judges award 47.6. Josh, 303C.
You're having a good time.
Judges award 2.0. Josh, 495C.
Just wanted to make sure. And then, John, when diving is completely over, then we're going to move that camera to the podium. And then we're going to switch that one to swimming. Right? Even if you take care of swimming, I'll take care of that. Okay, well, all right, yeah, this way you're not running around.
5134B.
I don't know if you'll have to like fill airtime at that point. So.
Yeah, actually, it happened pretty quick. They shifted pretty quick.
Yeah, they moved. No, they moved. Did that guy talk to you, the head guy?
Yeah, he came. He's like, you could have told me to get down. I'm like, no. I'm like, you're having fun. You're having a good time. We can adjust. No
It was
problem.
hilarious. That was how I thought of it. I was like, we're gonna try to figure so you can stand.
He's like, I was into it, but you could have told me to sit down on this side.
It's calling the swimming. I hope that's high enough. Unless you get Shaq walking in.
Judges award 36.0. Charles, 105B.
Yeah, they had cheeseburgers down there. They had like cookies for some reason.
Well, as soon as the race itself is over, if you want to grab something, you know what I mean? I'm even if you grab me a burger, I'll eat it. But I want to just wrap up here, get the memory cards, wipe them down when I'm in the...
That omelet is still okay in my stomach right now. I'm good.
Yeah, no, I'm not even hungry. I'm good.
205C.
Also, in my room, I got like so many pretzels.
got stuff,
so we can always share. Once we're back in the room, I'm sure we re-up the graphics for tomorrow, like the schedule graphics. And I want to do like who's leading.
Yeah.
So I'll try to figure that out. She gives me the results now.
109.2. Carter, 107C.
Be back here at like 8.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I might be. Yeah, let's do like 7:45.
Yeah, works.
Just want to make sure everything's still working.
This starts at what, 9:30?
Yeah. And again, they'll probably have breakfast downstairs.
I will actually be good until breakfast. Like at this
Judges
point.
reward 47.6.
Between yesterday and
Josh, 5Q11A. Judges award 21.0. Josh, 205C. Judges reward 30.8. Wyatt, 303A. Judges reward 19.5. Kyle, 203C. Judges reward 19.0. Charles, 304C. Judges reward 28.35. Thomas, 305C. Judges reward 42.0. Carter, 405C. Judges reward 56.7. Josh, 5231B. Judges report 18.0. Josh, 5-3-3-1 lead. Judges report 4.2. Wyatt, 203A. Judges award 34.8. Kyle, 403C. Judges award 30.4. Charles, 403B. Judges reward 38.85. Thomas, 405C. Judges award 84.0. Carter, 305C. Judges award 54.6. Josh, 205C.
what you're doing with the times and stuff.
Oh, also Terry told me when they do medals, usually the first, whoever comes in first place, their coach presents the medal.
Okay.
So if you have that at the ready somewhere, like on the roster, if you know it.
Yeah, it's usually at the bottom of the roster. So.
Yeah.
At least for like the rest of it, it's probably just like a sheet with all the coaches on it. Just like look out there. We're not calling. We're not doing like a call. Are we? Like we're just kind of streaming it. Or are we calling it?
In the morning?
Yeah.
No, we're just doing what we basically did for this.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay.
But like with the, we're not doing play-by-play, but we'll mention like this is one of three.
The announcement
of the,
for it.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it's like we're just mentioning what the thing is, what the event is, and what heat it is.
It's mostly trials in the morning.
Right. Yeah, it's just the prelims, and every now and then we can mention. Just a reminder, folks, the top 24 times get invited back to tonight's final. Join me and Dave Pizzuto as we bring you the full play-by-play commentary. Because I think in the morning you'll be here and I'll be there.
You're announcing lanes and stuff.
Right, exactly. Not even that.
Like
Just say,
this is a race.
yeah, like exactly. Like, all right, folks, our next event is the 200-yard butterfly. There will be 3 heats in this event, and this is heat 1. If we have that information.
Yeah, whatever we have.
And then, like at the end, let's say you notice that it's not the butterfly anymore; it's the whatever. It's the whatever event. You can just say, all right, that concludes the butterfly event. Remember, the top 24 will move on to the championship final this evening. Join me and Dave Pizzuto for that one. And our next event here is the 100-yard freestyle. Take a look at your scoreboard on your screen for more information. Yeah. And in the morning, they split that screen in 2. So we'll adjust this so it's just your half.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what I mean. This first year, we got to kind of wing it.
Yeah. See what works best.
Judges reward 36.45. Thomas, 5235D.
Terry told me it's like the biggest lift with this is just the amount of time.
That's really it. Yeah. It's like, oh, wow. A lot of this.
Judges reward 36.0. Carter, 5134D.
And then tomorrow after the morning session, we'll go downstairs and we'll see if they can print us a site sheet for the evening. And then this way it'll have all the names and what heats they're in. And then what I would do, I did this for Metros, is I go back to the thing and I put all the correct pronunciations right on that sheet. So you don't have to keep flipping.
Yeah. There's just so much stuff.
Right.
You can't even make like a board for it.
No.
Next 3 days, it'll basically be like 9 to 9. How long?
Yeah. With like a 3-hour break in between.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more actually. The evening sessions are what, 5:30 or 6? Or?
Yeah,
This one.
Yeah. This one's been more accurate. Tomorrow,
So like tomorrow night, what time is it? 5:30?
So I mean, this will have like the.
And then we'll be out of here in the morning by 1 the latest. Not even. Noon maybe?
What they expect. It's Thursday. I stapled this backwards. So, I don't know if I've
Judges reward 33.0. Wyatt, 4913C.
Yeah, this says it'll end at 11, 18, so probably like 12, 12:30.
Yeah, because they don't account. Yeah, you know. This is the main pool. So
I'm sure.
and then where do they have diving pools?
Sunday.
Page before. It's like reading, what was that, the Hebrew?
So, yeah. On the other side of the world.
Break for lunch, snooze a little bit,
Probably, yeah.
get ready, you know, do some notes. And
Yeah. Nap is not a bad idea, actually, after that.
Yeah.
You'll be up so early.
Judges award 31.05. Kyle, 5231B. Judges award 0. Charles, 5211A.
they fixed the Thursday, Friday thing.
Oh, they did? Oh, there you go.
Judges award 36.0.
Like, yeah, you probably did when they switched off the swimming.
5337B. Judges award 63.0. Carter, 5152B.
Oh yeah, here are the seat times. So you figure about 8 minutes.
Participants in the men's 800 Freesyle relay. This is Saturday, 40.
Yeah, no, a little fast, about a minute fast. Oh, is that it? Yeah, John, switch them up. All right, folks, that concludes diving here. And you can see see, we altered the camera to show the place and the podium for a little bit later on. So when the medals are awarded, they'll be awarded there at the podium. That's going to come up after swimming, after the 800-yard freestyle relay for both men and women. So pay attention to that. And when we come back to the diving portion of the program, or at least the diving stream, you'll get the awards medals probably in about a half hour from now. So we'll leave ambient sound for you while we do that. And remember, on our main pool stream, we'll have the 800 free relay going on there. So you can switch over and we'll have swimming back on the main stream. Thanks for joining us. So now they're done until medals, and now we'll go back. Yeah, I gotta adjust the scoreboard. All right, folks, welcome back to the 2026 NJAC Swimming and Diving Championships. Live here from the Aquaplex. Diving has concluded, and we're going to go back to swimming. And we're going to adjust our camera angle just a bit. John, you take over from here. I'm going to adjust our camera so that we got all of our lanes in there.
See what we can do, yeah. We got a great couple of heats coming up right here. We're on this Saturday for you. It's Thursday. We're looking at Saturday. Today is Thursday, February 12th. For our diving, 3-meter diving finals. We got 800 freestyle relays for both the men and the women. We got a great group coming up here for you, here for the NJAC. We'll take a look, and again, we'll see if Dave Pizzuto. That's my mistake for Dave Pizzuto. I forgot to account for the scoreboard there. As we head into this one, and both squads, everybody coming out, almost ready to roll here from Hampton, Virginia, Aquaplex. The 800-yard freestyle relay. TCNJ on the men's side holds the best seed time with 6:44.70. Salisbury with 6:45.60. They're the top two by a pretty good margin, by about 8 seconds. So we'll see if anybody kind of steps out and comes out of the woodworks here. Salisbury on the women's side has a full lead in seed time by 10 seconds with 7:40.43. Swimmers almost ready to go here. We'll get one more adjustment for the camera, then he'll bring back David Pizzuto here to call the action here from Hampton, Virginia Aquaplex. Two front runners on the men's side. One heat here, the A heat. Coming up right now, the 800-yard freestyle relay, and they are indeed off. He comes out to a lead here. All lanes full, all lanes packed. The 800-yard freestyle relay for the men. I think this relay is worth double points. Lane 3 Rowan looking strong here so far. U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, lane 1, Montclair State. Lane 2, Rowan, lane 3. TCNJ, lane 4. And those Lions start to gain some ground here in lane number 4. David Pizzuto works his way past under the caution tape. Works their way underwater. And here's David Pizzuto. TCNJ coming out to a pretty strong lead here in lane number 4. He said to keep going. 4 is 47-13 on the TCNJ side. Gaining some ground, though, in lane number 5 is Salisbury, getting a good kick on the turn and really coming out to a big-time lead. He got a good race for second and third as well between TCNJ and University of Mary Washington. And Salisbury doing a really good job so far. Coming out of the 800-yard freestyle relay, and they are slowly gaining ground. TCNJ gaining some ground. University of Mary Washington also trying to fight for second place here.
Yeah, about a 1.1 second differential between first and second. Looks like it might be opening up just a little bit here, John.
Just a bit. on that second and third round, but Salisbury getting a good entry into the water there, and now they're really going for it.
Yeah, the lead has opened up to now 1.5 seconds. So it's incremental, but it's getting there. USMMA in lane 1 in 4th place as well, kind of leading the back half of these entries.
But gaining some ground there, though, especially on that part. It's really just a battle between TC&J and Mary Washington, but slowly but surely TC&J kind of gaining some ground there. They did have the best time heading into this one. And Salisbury, still plenty of race to go. Just over the 2-minute mark on both sides, and it is a race of stamina.
Yeah, TC&J had the stamina for that one. That was for sure. On the back half of that, Salisbury had a great turn, and so did Rowan to start that leg, but TC&J on the tapering off there, doing a great job.
Just trying to continue to hold and continue to hold. But it's really stayed consistent. Trying to take a look at what else is going on through the back end as well. Roger Williams in lane 7, Ramapo in lane 8.
Salisbury is tightening though here.
It's working.
Yep. I mean, they're about a 1.6 off, but the turns, that's where TC&J is really setting themselves apart.
Rowan and Salisbury really not separated by much.
Right.
For Rowan, the profs coming out and really gaining some ground over there in lane number 3. TC&J getting a good split with 25-68. 3:16:28 right now. They are holding on.
Yeah, the lead is opening up there, but second and third are starting to get a lot closer here between Rowan and Salisbury. Salisbury cutting in, and, Rowan just a little bit behind here. 3:40.99, 3:41.77, so less than a second differential between second and third now.
And really, as long as you're within a second, half a second,
yeah,
you're very much in it. All it takes is one moment where one swimmer kind of tapers off, they start to lose it. In this race, in terms of where you see teams gain ground, but it doesn't start to see where you can really see a winner until you start to get to around the 6-minute mark. That's 7.
Obviously, you want your fastest swimmers towards the back, but it doesn't hurt when you have some of your faster ones up front either, and you use the middle, the body of work to really create a little bit of separation. Then you turn it on at the end, and here we go.
Really good split for Salisbury on the back end before. 24-78 was their split on the last side. Really getting some strong stuff here. Working out in lane number 5 is Salisbury.
1.2 second differential, and it's just that last third of the length of the pool which really was the difference there. Otherwise, they were neck and neck for a little bit.
TC&J and Salisbury kind of been gaining ground on each other all throughout the past 5 minutes or so, approaching the 5-minute mark in this race.
Real battle, too, between 5th, 6th, and 7th as well. Roger Williams factoring in there.
25-87, the best split there from Salisbury there. TC&J still in the lead, though, by about a second and change. But this race is tightening up there in 4 and 5. Salisbury coming out strong. They might have almost regained the lead, just too short.
They definitely cut into it, though. It's only about a half-second lead now for TC&J.
Got a really good start there, though, in this one.
Well, it looks like a 1-2 race right now. Rowan very comfortably in third place.
They were there for a good bit when it came to getting first place.
Yep.
And we've seen some comebacks here in this Aquaplex. But right now it's just absolutely neck and neck. But in lanes 4 and 5.
And once the top 3 get settled, there's going to be a war, John, for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. I mean, they are all neck and neck. I mean, so hard to determine right now.
Ramapo just got a 23-91 split. So they are really climbing back, trying to, again, these points matter. It's double.
Salisbury's really cutting into the lead now. Oh, boy.
They're getting there.
0.5.
TC&J is just getting off to some really good starts. And slowly gaining some ground here. This is going to be a big turn coming up on the back end right here.
Merchant Marine a comfortable 5th place, but Roger Williams 5th. Mary Washington just a hair behind in 6th.
And Salisbury almost getting there. They might win it here. Take the lead on this one. The fans duck and cover.
Yep. They just came in half second.
Yep.
And look at the battle now that's developing as it will be Roger Williams that took fifth just by a hair over MSU, and followed by Mary Washington in seventh and Ramapo in eighth. But it was heated there, and it was the final 3 or 4 lengths, John. The final 50 to 100 determined it. But TCNJ's win officially comes 0.54 ahead of Salisbury.
That final split was just, again,
Yeah.
0.10 separated it, 6:35.85. That beats their original seed time by a good margin. It was 6:44.70,
Yeah.
so they smoked it. Salisbury was right there. Rowan kind of tapered off at the end there. I've got heat number 2.
Yeah. And we're going to have the 2 heats in the women's final, John, because there are 10 teams. So we'll see 3 teams now. The bottom 3 as far as their time placement. TCNJ's in the middle of the pack in lane 4. Roger Williams is in lane 3. Ramapo is in lane 5.
TCNJ, 8:08.31 is a seed time. They got Roger Williams and Ramapo.
Yeah,
You want me to do this one? Or you
Yeah,
do
go
this?
ahead, John.
We're
Yeah,
going forward.
you're rocking and rolling with the 800.
We're giving me the 800s, the longer races, because my voice still works right now. We'll give you the shorter ones. The battle right now, 4 and 5 between TCNJ and Ramapo. Roger Williams lagging behind just a little bit. Starting out with 26.84 on the first split for TCNJ. Ramapo with 26.76. It was an absolute dogfight on the men's side, and we're looking to maybe get one right here as Roger Williams gaining some ground there to start things off in heat number 1 of the women's 800 freestyle relay. And we'll get the second heat of that coming up after this one.
Yeah, and remember that relay scoring is doubled, and even these 3 teams, John, they're going to come in possibly 8th, 9th, and 10th, but those are big points, and there's big differences between 8th, 9th, and 10th. 44 points versus 40 points versus 34 points. So there's a good, there's a 10-point difference between who's going to come in first in this heat and who's going to come in third. That's 10 big points. So, for those of you who might be watching and saying, oh, it's the second heat, it's the non-championship heat, it's a lot of points at stake here. They mean a lot.
It was a huge start to really this whole meet because, again, these double points early on, it's going to count. So as this goes on, and we've really got Roger Williams coming out and regaining a good bit of ground here.
Right.
Now it's a battle between 3 and 4 instead of 4 and 5 as things change here quickly. We'll see exactly what the timings of it are, but right now Roger Williams looks like they've got lag behind just a little bit. It's just going back and forth between TCNJ and Roger Williams, and Ramapo still right there. This is a close heat right here, and again, we'll have the next one coming up, but this is close.
Yeah, and this is where, if you do have dual meet experience, John, during the season, it helps because that person to your right or to your left, if you should be on their shoulder or not, if you should be near their kneecaps or not, at this point of the race. When you haven't faced these racers before during the season, you're not quite sure, the person to your right and to your left, can you use them as a pacer or do you have to run your own race? You have to stay very disciplined as a swimmer in some of these races, especially when you're not familiar with the opponent across from you.
It changes the way you mentally approach it, right? Again,
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
If I've swam against someone to my right 7 times in my career,
Right.
then I know, okay, this
You know exactly where you want to
are.
be at what particular point in the race, and that's something that's lost a little bit with these racers. So they have to taper themselves, go with their own internal clocks, and listen to the whistles and the cheers of their coaches if they can even hear them.
And Ramapo got a huge gain right here. 29-22 for Ramapo.
over.
Absolutely has taken over this race so far. They got a strong swimmers coming up here. Roger Williams started to lag behind. So the order of this race kind of just flipped.
Exactly.
As it can do when you have to go out for 6-8 minutes.
Yep, and that's what we were talking about before. You put your fastest, leg at the front or at the back to get yourself the lead that you need to sustain. And sometimes these middle swimmers that are racing in the second and third leg, that's where you're going to see a little bit of separation, and then it's a full-on sprint for the final 200 to see if you can make up that difference that you fell behind.
No sub-30 splits like we saw in the last kind of split back before. Really all around the same in the low to high 31 range for both of
coming
these
to
teams.
the final turn here.
We're getting this last turn coming up at the 800 freestyle relay. Ramapo holding on just a bit. TCNJ coming right in, though, as you get to it on the back end of this one right here.
Yeah, there's
TCNJ gained some ground.
Right. But you notice the difference with Ramapo. You know, the first split time, 29 seconds. This one, 33. So, you know, again, do you want to stay consistent with each of the turns, you know, each of the 4 turns, or are you going all out for that first one, getting that great split time, but then it's 4 seconds late on your last one? It just all depends how you approach your own 200 and how you run your best race.
TCNJ with a 25.57. They gained a
Gorgeous,
ton right here. Wow.
Yeah, they won the split by a little over 2 seconds or just under 2 seconds, and that elevates the lead. And, you know, Roger Williams in lane 3 making up a little ground now on Ramapo.
TCNJ, the Lions leading the pack right now. Ramapo trying to hold on. They were leading this race for a good while before, and now it's starting to become a race for second and third in terms of this heat, and also just getting times out there.
Yeah, because
TCNJ 8:08:31 was their best time in terms of the seat time. Right now they're on a pretty good pace to kind of shatter that.
And Roger Williams came in with a sub-30 split as well that last leg, and that's why they've opened up a little bit more of a lead on Ramapo in lane 5 as well.
Might have lost a little bit on that turn there, got there earlier. But Ramapo, again, just holding on, good pacing. But TCNJ, as this race continues, has just continued to they are leading by a good while right now. It was a really great race.
Yep. Well, Roger Williams has come back here, and they've made up, I think, about a second on that last length down the pool. We'll see if they can, you know, really hustle here into the block to try to make up a little ground and make it a little bit easier for the final relay.
Yeah, TCNJ's got to get a good entry there, right here. They got to get in because Roger Williams coming right here.
Yeah,
and they've really gained. Now they've gained about a half a body.
Yeah, and TCNJ took a 2.2 second lead at the end of leg 3. So here we go in leg 4, and we'll see if Roger Williams can overcome that 2.2 second deficit. First 25, they look pretty good.
Yeah, they lost that ground that they made up. They looked like they had something right there. Again, TCNJ again later on that entry, but when you get a 25-73 split, that'll about do it.
Right. And even the sub-30 the other way, it's just not making up any ground.
Right. Getting it done again. You got your anchors coming out now here as you approach the back end of the race. Here for the NJAC 2026 NJAC Championships, TCNJ continuing to gain margins.
Right.
But for Roger Williams, they've really, they're not able to catch up to TCNJ right now, but they've really extended their lead over Ramapo and the Roadrunners.
Yeah.
Still some ground to make up, though.
And also not really wavering all that much. I mean, that split time just a hair slower than the first, but TCNJ is still working at a really, really good pace here.
Great pace. It was about 28, I think it was 28.80 something. Didn't see the exact time. But, again, they're continuing. They got a lot of sub-30s in this one so far. About entering the end of this one. This next right here, where the 7:20 mark here in this race, a 30:45 for TCNJ. The Lions now really have almost half a pool in terms of a lead right now against Roger Williams. Ramapo, Roger Williams also just extended their lead over Ramapo by another body, it seems like, almost.
Yeah, and the anchor for Roger Williams doing really well in this leg right now. Can't really fault her. Racing pretty well, pretty consistent through these lengths up and down. As TCNJ now starting to slow down a little bit, 31:15, and
that'll do it for them. TCNJ 7:51.78, 7:56.65 for Roger Williams. Ramapo comes in with an 8:03.72. So a really good time for TCNJ as we head into heat number 2. 7:51.78 again, absolutely shatters the time that they had as a seat time heading into this one. Is the 4th best in terms of, if you go by the seat times, would be the 4th best time out of all the seat times heading into this. So a really good piece of work from TCNJ.
Yeah, absolutely.
And consistency.
Yeah, and they won it by just under 5 seconds or just under 6 seconds, I should say. So, definitely getting faster and faster, or at least staying consistent throughout the race. So, good race there. And now we get to see our top 7, according to preliminary seed time, coming into the regular season now, entering the arena at this time.
Here they come. Lane 2 will be Montclair State. 3 will be the Kane Cougars. Salisbury in lane 4. Rowan in lane 5. University of Mary Washington will be in lane 6. The United States Merchant Marine Academy will be in lane 7. So 7 teams here will race in the women's 800 freestyle relay. So walk in right here. Will approach, or they will enter the water. The 800 freestyle relay.
And this is, yeah, it's our final heat I was about to mention. So this one will conclude tonight's heats. And again, according to seed times during the regular season, again, the foursomes change over the course of a season. Some achieved the seed time very late in the season. Some achieved it very early. So it's almost like a wild card race here. But pay attention to Salisbury in lane 4. They've been ahead of the pack pretty much all season long.
Yep, 7:40:43 as they go in. They are off to go here for the 800, the final heat of our day here on the first day of the 2026 NJAC Championships at the Hampton, Virginia Aquaplex. Salisbury, the team to really look out for over in lane 4, but so far neck and neck with Rowan. Rowan seems to kind of have that theme to it. They've hung on for a bit.
Yeah,
with Salisbury.
So much pressure on these first leg swimmers, John, because everybody is just united, and it's so tempting, especially when you're at the front, to just want to stay in the front, that you sometimes lose your own internal clock and internal pace. And so you have to stay very, very disciplined here and have to run your race through the first 200.
Kane had some pace, fell behind just a little bit. Right now it's Salisbury against Rowan. Salisbury 7:40:43. Rowan at a 7:50:84. But right now you could not tell. Although Salisbury getting about a half a body right there, gaining some ground. Kane right now fighting for second place over there in lane 3, doing a good job of staying against Rowan. Rowan got a good kick on the turn though. Still very early in this 800. But this is getting close.
And Merchant Marine is turning it on too in lane 7, John. They have made up the difference. They went from 3rd to 4th, so they slipped a little bit as Kane took over 3rd place, but they're right there in the mix.
Merchant Marine at 8:06:48, but they are completely keeping pace. Fell behind just a little bit right here.
They did.
Still the game between Salisbury and Rowan. Rowan got in early on the turn on the back end. Kane falling behind just a little bit. Merchant Marine, though, again, doing the same thing they just did. Gaining some good ground on this turn.
What a split for Rowan.
Wow. Yeah, Rowan enter into the lead at 1:53:59 at the moment, a 28:80 split.
It's about a 0.4 difference here in the leaders, but Rowan, what a great split that time.
Needed it. Kane could use one as well. Kane almost gaining some ground, losing it to Merchant Marine Academy. Really, 3rd and 4th is going to be a battle as well.
Salisbury's getting it back too, John.
Somehow, Salisbury, it's just going back and forth between Salisbury and Rowan. Merchant Marine hanging on in 3rd place. Good turn over there, though, as Salisbury now gaining about a quarter of a body, almost a half. Get another big turn coming up here. This is a fantastic race that we have on our hands right here. Getting just a little bit of ground with Rowan. We'll see if they can catch up right here on this leg. Rowan, they're almost right there. This is going to be close in terms of this split. Salisbury takes it by just a bit. Fell off a bit was Rowan. Kane right there with Rowan as well. Merchant Marine fell actually to Mary Washington in that split. Mary Washington now takes over Merchant Marine. So there's a battle now in there. This is a battle all throughout 1 through 7 right now. The top still, Salisbury and Rowan. And Salisbury might be tapering off just a bit here, but Rowan keeping ground with them, and we've got a tight one. And you've still got it between Mary Washington and Merchant Marine. Kind of playing against each other right here.
It does seem, though, that Kane is trying to battle back because they fell behind by a little bit there on that last split. Now they're ramping it back up again.
And it's staying right now with the seat times, the original seat times. Kane was the third best, right behind Rowan.
That was a great turn by Rowan just now, and you could tell this is going to be really, really split finish here as they enter the block for the next leg.
Entering at just about the same time.
Rowan took over,
Rowan,
though.
Rowan
0.1/100th of a second.
Oh, my goodness.
John, 1/100th.
How is that possible, Dave?
Wow.
This is just something. And Rowan gained some good ground here as well.
Yeah.
Salisbury trying to maintain, though. Still a battle between Mary Washington and Merchant Marine Academy, though. Merchant Marine Academy got a really good turn on the back, though. And again, another tight finish. But looks like now Salisbury will kind of get back here against Rowan. 25.79 versus 25.99.
Right.
.20.
Yeah, 0.2 of a second difference,
Yep.
but it's enough to take the lead by 0.2 of a second.
That means they were just exactly even right there.
Yeah.
We went to the 4.5-minute mark of this race, and it's still Salisbury and Rowan. And the lead keeps changing by the second here.
Yep.
A really 1/10 of a second here when you talk about swimming.
All about stamina now as the lead has grown to about a half of a second with Salisbury over Rowan. Kane trailing behind by a good second and a half to the leaders here in first and second.
Kane still comfortably in third, though, as Merchant Marine Academy regaining fourth by a half a body. Still a battle between Salisbury and Rowan. Salisbury looks like they've got it by just about a neck's length. And they will take this split, it looks like, unless you gain some quick ground right here. 29.51. Rowan falls off by just about a 1/7 of a second at 30.26. Kane still hanging on, and Kane is now heading closer to Rowan in terms of getting to second place. They've regained a bit of that length right there.
Yep.
Merchant Marine Academy still holding on to fourth.
Off by about a couple of seconds here, but
huge gain from Salisbury.
Yeah, this is where you start to see the stamina taking over here. These final couple of turns, and now the last racers in the water.
And Salisbury has gained a huge lead at the end there. They got a great earlier entry, and Salisbury continuing to hold on to this lead. It was so tight before, now Salisbury kind of extending here, although a good turn from Rowan may kind of change the tides. Kane falling a bit good behind, though, from Rowan, and it seems that first and second may be comfortable for now, although Kane hanging on to third place. Merchant Marine Academy has really extended that lead over in fourth place as well.
Right, they were about a second and a half ahead of Montclair State for fourth and fifth, although that is tightening up as well.
Montclair State haven't really been able to see lane one as much as we maybe, or like lane two as much as we would like.
Yeah, that's now a 0.2 differential between those two, 4 and 5.
Yep, Montclair State has really regained a lot.
Yep.
He's headed to the back end of this one. The anchors working here with Salisbury. Salisbury is comfortably in first at the moment, but you can never get too comfortable here at the NJAC Swimming Championships.
Kane gaining ground.
Montclair State trying to work. Although Mary Washington has kind of tightened that back up a little bit. So for this last three places, it's going to get really close here. Salisbury still comfortably in first. We're just over the 7-minute mark of this race. Now Mary Washington regaining some place on the backside. Salisbury has extended this a ton.
Right.
Kane still comfortably in third, and Rowan comfortably in second, but still falling a good bit behind Salisbury, who is really dominating right now.
Right, they've opened up last turn. It was about 3.5 seconds of a lead.
Salisbury at the end here. Seagulls.
MSU has taken over fourth over Mary Washington and the Merchant Marines, which are neck and neck.
Salisbury will do it at 7:36.26. Rowan fell behind by about 4 seconds. Kane approaching their finish here, and now it's a battle for fourth, fifth, and sixth in this heat.
And it's going to be close,
State,
John.
Very close. Montclair State lagging behind just a little bit. Merchant Marine just ahead, and it's tight between Mary Washington, Merchant Marine. Looks like Merchant Marine might have done it.
Montclair State.
Montclair State came in at the end there.
Yeah, it was the optical illusion of them being closer to us, John, but wow.
Missed it.
7:50, 63, 7:50, 71.
Yep.
So 8/100ths of a second.
Wow.
Separating fourth from sixth. And in between both of them is Mary Washington in fifth place. What a race.
Wow.
What a race there.
Just great stuff. I mean, Montclair State. Looked like it was a battle in those last two lanes. Montclair State's all the way up here in lane number 2, and they found a way to get it done. The Red Hawks get it in terms of getting 4th place, and that battle for 5th and 6th, it's huge in terms of the points. Whether you're 6 through 4 is a huge difference in points, and obviously first with Salisbury, they do a great job with 7:40.43, their original time, now 7:32.26.
And the final split, John, Salisbury, a sub-29-second split. That's excellent.
Yep.
When you're, the anchor of an 800, and that's the final leg, you're going to win a lot of races that way. And they just took home a sensational amount of points there. What is it, 62 points to come in first place on a relay? 64, sorry.
32 initially,
32,
but they're double,
yeah.
so it'll be 64.
Yeah. I was in college. I'm going to date myself here. 25 years ago, so college math for you.
I'm not even 25, so there we go.
Okay, well, that's my make Dave feel old reference.
We're always due for one every time. It seems to happen.
All right, folks, you could turn your attention to the diving area if you want, the diving stream for the podium look.
Yep.
And you'll see the results there. I'm going to hop on to the diving, and you stay on swimming, John.
Dave's going to work out there on camera. We'll take a look at the podiums coming up here. 2026 NJAC Championships. Take a look at the podium. If you want to head over to the diving side of the stream, we'll have all of that for you. We'll have the camera angle, and you'll be able to view first, second, and third of all of our great events here today. But before you head to that, just want to remind you fans, just a reminder that the NJAC Swimming and Diving Championships kickoff is sure to be an exciting winter championship season for the conference. Next weekend on February 21st and 22nd, the NJAC Indoor Track and Field Championships will be held at University of Pennsylvania's Out Center. Also next Sunday, the NJAC Women's and Men's Basketball tournaments will get underway. The women's tournament will feature a Saturday, Tuesday, Friday format, while the men's tournament will feature a Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday format. Ticket information and all other NJAC Winter Championship details, please visit njacsports.com. So again, make sure to tune in to the diving side of our stream. We had a great legs here. You'll get a better view of the podium if we're able to get there. So make sure to tune in again to the other side, and we'll get a good view. Well, our podium is approaching the end here, or maybe not. We'll see what they end up doing. Just got a quick photo op. We'll walk past, but assumedly we'll get a kind of podium presentation. We await the word of our public address announcer. Again, Salisbury takes the women's 800 relay, 7:32.26. Rowan comes in second in that heat, 7:36.35. Kane at 7:49.34. Montclair State 7:58.63. So a big difference between third and fourth. Really impressive. Mary Washington in fifth at 7:59.64. And Merchant Marine Academy at 7:59.71. Again, we await our announcements for the podium. Now we'll get a view.
for them.
Please turn your attention to the auditorium as we honor the top 3 finishers in the women's 200-yard medley relay.
200-yard medley relay.
Our third place finisher with a score of time of 1:44.29, University of Mary Washington. Maddie Jennings, Sola Pepper, Christina Ramos, Victoria Jacobs.
Once again, Mary Washington being presented with the bronze medal for the 200 medley.
Our second place finisher with an NJAC runner-up time of 1:44.23, Kane University. Ray Wilson, Adam Burns, Olivia Chow, Emma Miller.
At least they can hear the winner.
And our 2026 NJAC champions with the winning time and record time of 1:43.94, Salisbury University. NC South Florida, Mackenzie Kellogg, Rachel Griffin, and Caitlin McGuire. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for our 2026 NJAC top 3 finishers in the women's 200 relay.
Congratulations to all of our medalists in the 200 medley relay. Down to the hospitality room. Remember that girl, Christy? That we met in the store? Yeah, see if maybe she can give us a file. Like a file recall.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the auditorium as we honor the top 3 finishers in the men's 800-yard freestyle relay. in third place with a time of 6:44.62. Grove University. Brandon Sheehan, Drew Westwood, Justin Villier, Julian Hughes. Our second place finisher with an NJAC runner-up time of 6:36.39, Salisbury University. Darren Bird, Ian Richard, Shane Hall, and Eric Brewer. And our 2026 NJAC champion with a winning time of 6:35.85, the College of New Jersey.
NJAC takes on the gold in the 800.
Steven Menderes, Matthew Fidelli, Kyle Bishop, Gabe Medley.
Folks, while the time is being taken, we let you know that we'll resume tomorrow on Friday with morning preliminary heats.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for our 2026 NJAC top 30 finishers in the men's 800-yard freestyle relay.
Back here as we see the podium presentations, and just to kind of give you a recap of what we just saw. We had a couple records in terms of the NJAC records. We had some cuts made as well. TC&J does both. They make a cut, get a record, the original NJAC record of 1:28.28, the 200-yard medley relay. They get a cut passing the 1:29.60 mark, as did Salisbury with 1:26.99, and U.S. Merchant Marine Academy with 1:29.28. Heading down to the women's 200-yard medley relay, 1:43.94 from Salisbury, a dominant performance for them. That will break an NJAC record and will also give them a cut. Kane will get a 1:44.23 in that great 200-yard medley, and University of Mary Washington only .06 separated those two. But they both make a cut. And Salisbury with 64 points on that end as well. And obviously Carter Cobb makes his cut. Gets a 493.60 for 32 points. Thomas Cable also for the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy with a score 28 as well. Charles Williams just behind him with 27 points, 361.90, although Thomas Cable with a 48.450. Good job by everyone out there. And then heading on to the 800-yard freestyle relay, 64 points with TC&J in the lead. Their final time of 6:35.85, heading into this with a seed time of 64.70. So a great improvement by them and a great improvement by Salisbury, who came in just shy of them at 6:36.39. They've got 56 points to Salisbury out of that one. Salisbury also did a great job of the women's 800-yard freestyle relay with a final time of 7:32.26. That makes them a cut and also breaks an NJAC record with a great performance by them. Kane was in third place with 7:49.34. So in terms of kind of your scores, the women, they lead Salisbury 128 through event 5, 128 points for them. Rowan at 108, Montclair State. The Rowan's in third, Kane with 110. Kane got 110, so they are in second. That's your top three. Is Salisbury with a pretty good lead right now over Kane and Rowan. It's going to be a big battle as we head into the next 3 days. Also for them, Kane with 110, Rowan with 108, University of Mary Washington right behind with 100, Montclair State with 98, Roger Williams 96, tied with TC&J for 96 as well. U.S. Merchant Marine Academy with 92, Ramapo with 80, and William Patterson on the back end with 34. For the men, their team rankings, they dive, so they will have a bit higher point totals than the women because, again, you have the diving. TC&J with a pretty solid lead over U.S. Merchant Marine Academy. TC&J comes in with 201 points through the fifth event of our week here in Hampton, Virginia. U.S. Merchant Marine Academy with 193 just ahead, and pretty good lead right now. It's a two-horse race right now for the men through the fifth event. 201 again for TCJ, 193 for U.S. Merchant Marine. But Mary Washington with 123, Salisbury with 112, Rowan with 104, Roger Williams comes out with 98, just ahead of Montclair State, it has 94, Ramapo with 88, William Patterson with 40. We've got a great day for you tomorrow as well. We will be here for coverage, and again, make sure to check out the next 3 days of this event because we got a really competitive event coming up right here, and it will start off tomorrow. 400-yard medley relay will kick off everything as well as women's 1 meter diving and a lot of great stuff as well. We'll get some updates out here, but that'll just about wrap it up here for us here on the PDF Sports Network. Just want to remind you real quick before we head off of the air right here, just a reminder that the NJAC Swimming and Diving Championships kick off what is sure to be an exciting winter championship season for the conference. Next weekend on February 21st and 22nd, the NJAC Indoor Track and Field Championships will be held at the University of Pennsylvania's Ott Center. Also next Saturday, the NJAC Women's and Basketball Tournament will get underway. The women's tournament will feature a Saturday, Tuesday, Friday format, while the men's tournament will feature a Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday format. For ticket information and all other NJAC Winter Championship details, please visit njacsports.com. Again, make sure to check out the next 3 days if you would like to tune in because we've got a lot of great stuff coming up for you, and we'll have all the updates and everything, and we'll recap it all before we head on the air tomorrow. And that begins very early. There's a morning session that begins at 9:30. That'll take us all throughout the day, as it will for the next 2 days after that. So still plenty left to go. You got a two-headed race on the men's side and the women's side. Two teams that really showed out, but there's still a lot of competition between the rest. Records were broken today. Cuts were made. Great things have happened, but for myself and David Pizzuto on this side of the stream, still some stuff going on the diving side. 7:44 p.m. Not a bad time to get out of here for everybody here. But we saw our podium presentations, and that will do it for us here for the NJAC. It's been a great time, and we will see you tomorrow and the next day and the next day here. So thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure to tune in tomorrow as we will continue this great event from the Hampton, Virginia Aquaplex, the NJAC Swimming and Diving Championships. We'll be back tomorrow.
For this Thursday.